Today I'm going to be doing something that I've never tried before. I'm going to be making 1 ounce of THC oil from 1 gram of medical grade marijuana. The THC content of the buds that I have are 20.75%. The CBD is 0.33%, so it's really not suitable for making CBD oil. We're going to be doing it according to as close as I can match the methods used in commercial laboratories. Going to be using a stovetop with a kettle of water so that the entire container is surrounded with hot water so that there's no hot spots or cold spots, and the temperature inside the jar will be constant. I use a thermometer to measure the temperature of the water in the kettle, and it does hold exactly at 200 degrees, which is what we're going to be using. 200 degrees for an hour and 40 minutes to decarb the buds. Fortunately, the jar that I'm using is not a canning jar, so I don't have the proper lid. I'm going to have to make a lid out of tin foil and affix it to the top of the jar. Now, in the process of heating over an hour and 40 minutes, it's going to create a vacuum, and I'm a little concerned that it might actually suck the tin foil down inside of the jar. We'll just have to take that as it comes and see what happens. Right now I'm going to try and make a tinfoil cover that I can hold on with a rubber band. Kind of a makeshift thing, but this is the first time I'm trying this, and I really don't have time to go out and try and find a regular canning lid to fit this thing. So we're just kind of winging it here. I made the lid and the water is coming up to temperature, so we're ready to put the product in the water bath for an hour and 40 minutes. Hopefully this is going to work out well. I wanted to mention that there is a woman that made a decarboxylating machine. I never say that right, but it will decarb according to lab standards. It's a little bit on the pricey side. $218 is the retail price of the unit, but the Massachusetts laboratory that does the majority of the testing for growers in Massachusetts does endorse this. In fact, they invited her to make a video at their facility, and it was actually very interesting, but the test results that they were getting back showed that this is a machine that is comparable to what they use, and for the price, if you can afford it, I would honestly suggest getting it. It's very simple to use, and it's a nice piece of equipment. We'll be adding a link at the bottom of the description on this video to show where you can actually buy the machine that I was just talking about. And since we're pretty much getting ready to take this out of the water bath right now, I'll be able to go ahead and start straining it. Unfortunately, the straining part, I had a technical difficulty and my camera went dead. So I had to charge the battery before I was able to start doing this again. I'm reasonably certain that everyone knows how to use a strainer, so you didn't miss much. It's just a small strainer. I took a coffee filter, put a rubber band around it over the neck of the bottle, poured it into the strainer, and let it drip down into the coffee filter where it filtered out all of the really small particles. Pretty simple. I'm sure you all can figure out how to do that. And then we have the finished product, which looks pretty good. I'm going to give it a try and see how it works. And actually, I just did a little bit, and I'm coming back, and yeah, I can definitely feel it. It was a little more diluted than I wanted it to be. I had to add a little bit more alcohol in the first part because it wasn't covering the buds with just a half ounce. And the second part of that, I had to add a little bit to the jar that I transferred it from so I could rinse it out and get the remaining particles that were in there. Originally, one dose would have been one drop at a half ounce. Right now, one dose is actually 3 drops, and that seems to be pretty gosh darn good. So this did work out pretty well.